Most traders fail, not because the market is impossible, but because of an invisible habit in the mind that silently sabotages every trade. This habit is subtle. It does not appear on charts or in trading journals. It hides behind every hesitation, every impulsive move, and every overreaction. Imagine your brain as a trading algorithm running on autopilot, without the proper risk management code. Every trade executed under this system is vulnerable. Your mind can turn perfectly simple trades into losses without warning. As Mark Douglas said, traders often fail because they trade their emotions, not the market. Think about that. You can have perfect entries, solid risk management, and an optimal strategy, yet still lose consistently. Fear, greed, regret, hope. These emotional reactions override every rule you thought you were following. The invisible habit dictates your decisions before logic even has a chance to intervene. If you want to actually change the way you trade, hit subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the fix. Awareness is the first step. Without seeing what your autopilot is doing, every tutorial, every strategy, and every tip is wasted. You must identify the hidden triggers, the automatic reactions, and the silent impulses that are controlling your results. This habit is activated under pressure. It shows up when trades are going against you, when opportunity feels urgent, or when past losses create anxiety. Your brain evaluates these moments differently than your conscious mind expects. Small losses feel catastrophic. Small wins create pressure to act impulsively. Emotional responses hijack rational decision-making, and suddenly, every trade is executed on autopilot. Have you noticed how trades that should be straightforward suddenly turn into losses? You follow a clear setup, yet the position reverses, or you exit too early. Many traders blame randomness or the market, but rarely is the market the real cause. It is your mind. Every hesitation, every impulsive reaction, every premature exit is programmed by this habit. The market is only reflecting your internal state. Many retail traders repeat this cycle unknowingly. They enter too late because fear delays them. They exit too early because anxiety dominates. They double down impulsively when hope overrides judgment. Each reaction reinforces the autopilot, strengthening the neural pathways behind it. Over time, these automatic behaviors compound. Results fluctuate. Confidence erodes. Traders believe the market is unpredictable, but it is their mind that is inconsistent. Consistency fails not because of skill, but because the mind is untrained to manage itself. Professional traders emphasize process over outcome. They manage reactions, implement micro checkpoints, and follow structured pauses to prevent emotional hijacks. The invisible habit bypasses these controls silently, eroding discipline before you even notice. The gap between your intentions and your actual actions grows wider with every trade executed on autopilot. Think of your mind as an algorithm missing critical risk checks. Without conscious oversight, it ignores stop losses, miscalculates position sizing, and reacts disproportionately to emotional triggers. Small losses are amplified. Small gains become stress points. Micro errors compound into patterns that reduce your edge and destroy confidence. You are not losing trades. Your brain is. The market only mirrors the decisions your autopilot has already made. This habit is strengthened by repetition. Every impulsive click, every emotional reaction, every unplanned trade reinforces the neural pathways that drive autopilot behavior. The longer it operates unchecked, the harder it becomes to override. Awareness alone is insufficient. Pauses, deliberate evaluation, and structured mental checkpoints are essential to regain control. Without them, the same patterns repeat, silently eroding both capital and confidence. Take a moment to observe yourself while trading. Notice hesitation, doubt, and gut feelings. Every reaction, every fear-based decision, and every impulse is logged by the autopilot. Most traders never notice these moments. They assume randomness. But your mind is predictable, and the autopilot has already decided your outcomes. Recognizing these triggers is the first step to breaking the cycle. The invisible habit manifests in behaviors like chasing losses, freezing under pressure, overreacting to minor fluctuations, and ignoring clear risk signals. Each behavior compounds the other. Emotional responses overpower rational plans. Traders feel the market is unpredictable, but it is their mind that is chaotic. Each micro-decision reinforces the pattern, creating a cycle that seems impossible to break. Most traders do not realize how deeply this habit runs until results start slipping. Losses accumulate, confidence drops, and patterns emerge. By the time the autopilot is fully active, it has already dictated outcomes. Every entry, every exit, and every reaction is influenced. Only by recognizing the habit, analyzing it, and actively interrupting it can you begin to reclaim control over your trades. If ignored, this habit compounds quietly over weeks, months, and years. Capital and confidence erode simultaneously. Awareness alone is not enough. Structured microactions, deliberate pauses, and continuous monitoring are required to retrain the mind. If left unchecked, the autopilot continues to dictate trades, silently sabotaging results at every opportunity. Which habit is silently sabotaging your trades right now? Recognizing it is the first step. Most traders never notice it, and it costs more than just money. The invisible habit is powerful because it runs automatically. It builds risk you cannot see. Each hesitation, each impulse, each emotional reaction adds up. You might think you're making rational decisions, but in reality, your autopilot is executing a program shaped by fear, hope, and stress. Consider what happens when your brain reacts emotionally. You chase losses immediately, hoping to recover. You hesitate when the trade is clear, overthinking every small fluctuation. You ignore risk signals you know you should follow. Every reaction is magnified by the invisible habit, and every small error compounds into larger losses. The moment you realize this habit exists, you can begin to track it. Step 1 is awareness. Track your emotions on every trade. Note what you feel before, during, and after each position. Fear, overconfidence, regret, hope. Awareness alone is powerful. By labeling your emotional triggers, you take control of what was previously unconscious. Step 2 is to pause before executing trades. Ask yourself, am I reacting or am I following my plan? This simple question interrupts autopilot. It restores conscious decision-making. It gives your rational mind a chance to override the emotional impulses that would otherwise dominate your trades. Step 3 introduces AI-assisted probabilistic thinking. Let data guide your decisions instead of gut reactions. Review trade statistics, success ratios, and position patterns. AI tools can highlight hidden tendencies you would never notice on your own. For example, you might discover that fear consistently makes you exit early on winning trades. Awareness combined with actionable insights changes the outcome. Are you already doing this? Or does it feel completely new? Many traders skip this step. They continue trading the same way, unconsciously repeating the mistakes of their autopilot. The difference between consistent traders and struggling traders is simple. Micro-actions that override emotional patterns. The invisible habit also manipulates perception. Your brain exaggerates losses and downplays gains. It creates a sense of urgency that doesn't exist. A small losing streak feels like catastrophe. A small winning streak feels like it must continue indefinitely. The autopilot convinces you to act against your plan every time. Structured checkpoints are essential. Every trade should have a predefined entry, exit, and risk evaluation. Micro pauses after each decision allow the mind to reset. This interrupts the unconscious habit before it escalates. Over time, these pauses retrain the brain to operate consciously, not reactively. Emotional triggers are predictable. Fatigue, market noise, and overconfidence are catalysts. When fatigue hits, the brain defaults to autopilot more quickly. Decisions that require precision are replaced with shortcuts that feel automatic. By recognizing these triggers and monitoring your mental state, you reduce the influence of the invisible habit. Reinforcing awareness with structured action is crucial. Logging trades, reviewing patterns, and using AI-informed statistics allow you to see where autopilot interferes. You start identifying repeated mistakes. You begin to see your own behavior clearly. This is how small, conscious interventions compound into measurable improvement. The invisible habit affects more than results. It erodes confidence. Each impulsive trade, each reactionary exit, chips away at trust in your own decisions. Traders feel trapped, blaming the market or strategy. The truth is simpler. The mind's autopilot is undermining consistency. Recognizing this frees you to reclaim control. Every small pause, every tracked emotion, every data-informed decision builds a new pattern. The mind starts to learn what conscious trading feels like. Micro-actions compound. Risk becomes manageable. Confidence is rebuilt. What once felt impossible becomes routine. The invisible habit can no longer operate unchecked. By combining awareness, deliberate pauses, and AI-informed insights, you interrupt the autopilot consistently. You start to control each micro-decision rather than reacting to market noise. This is the foundation for consistent, confident trading. Now that you understand the invisible habit and how it operates, the question becomes, how do you regain control? How do you stop your mind from sabotaging every trade without you even noticing? The first step is to realize that this habit is not a flaw. It's a survival mechanism gone wrong. Your brain evolved to respond to threats, not to follow trading plans calmly and rationally. The invisible habit builds unconscious risk. Every hesitation, every impulsive decision, every overreaction adds to a cumulative mental risk that is rarely measured. Traders underestimate this risk because it doesn't appear on charts, doesn't show as a percentage of capital. But psychologically, it is enormous. Left unchecked, it compounds silently, slowly eroding consistency and confidence. To regain control, begin with micro-actions. Every trade should include a conscious pause. Check your emotional state, confirm your entry and exit criteria, and verify position size. These small interventions prevent the autopilot from executing a decision before your conscious mind has a chance to intervene. Small actions repeated consistently are more powerful than large actions done sporadically. Structured risk management is the next step. Stop losses, position sizing, and maximum daily risk are not optional. They are tools that protect not just capital, but your mind. When your brain feels safe, emotional reactions diminish. Fear and greed lose their power. You no longer react impulsively to every market move. Your autopilot has less control because boundaries are clear. AI-informed insights take this even further. By reviewing historical trades and probability data, you can spot patterns invisible to intuition. For example, you might discover that you exit winning trades too early under certain market conditions, or that hesitation leads to delayed entries that reduce profitability. AI is not replacing your decisions. It is highlighting tendencies that your autopilot is hiding from you. Awareness combined with deliberate action is essential. Tracking emotions, taking pauses, and analyzing statistics is not a one-time exercise. It must be repeated daily. Every trade becomes a learning opportunity. Every deviation from the plan is recorded, analyzed, and corrected. The invisible habit loses power as conscious decision-making strengthens. Control is built by creating predictable routines. Pre-trade preparation, mental checks, and post-trade review form a cycle of reinforcement. The mind begins to expect conscious evaluation rather than automatic reaction. With repetition, new neural pathways form. Autopilot is retrained to follow the plan rather than override it. When autopilot begins to lose control, confidence rises. Each successful execution reinforces conscious habits. Traders notice they are less stressed, less reactive, and more consistent. This confidence is not based on luck. It is built through measurable control. Each microaction compounds into consistent performance. Internal conflict diminishes when rules are clear and consistently applied. Emotional tension between fear and greed decreases because the autopilot no longer dominates decisions. You start to see the difference between reaction and choice. Trading is no longer a battle against the market. It is a battle against the mind, and you are winning. Identity transformation occurs as you internalize these habits. You are no longer a reactive trader controlled by impulses. You become a risk manager, someone who controls every micro decision, who manages both capital and emotion. who trusts the plan more than the panic. This shift in identity is more powerful than any strategy or indicator. It changes not just results, but the way you experience trading. Every checkpoint, every conscious pause, and every AI-informed insight strengthens this identity. You begin to act predictively, rather than reactively. Decisions that once caused anxiety now feel deliberate and controlled. The invisible habit is still present, but its influence diminishes because you have chosen a different path. Motivation is reinforced by visible improvement. When trades are executed according to plan, when losses are controlled, and when decisions are deliberate, performance improves. The mind notices success. Confidence compounds. Fear loses influence. The autopilot habit, once dominant, now becomes a tool that works under your direction rather than against it. You don't have to be among traders who keep losing. You can become a conscious risk manager, controlling every micro decision and building consistent confidence. Each small action matters. Every pause, every analysis, every review strengthens your control. The invisible habit will no longer dictate your results. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit like and comment which habit you're focusing on first. Take control of your trading mind today. Implement these micro actions consistently. Use AI to gain clarity on hidden tendencies. Track your emotions. Pause before executing trades. Manage risk consciously. If you're ready to evolve your trading mind, this is your next step.